Welcome, everybody, to another edition of the Winner's Circle Sports Betting Podcast, right here on the Winner's Circle Sports Betting channel, sponsored by GamblersWorld.com. It's Tuesday, June the 20th, and I got my cohorts with me today after it was me and Sean last Friday, and Jesse was on a little sabbatical at his timeshare, and everybody needs a break today, and Jesse took one. But Jesse, good to have you back, my man.
I'm glad to be back, Ross. I saw that you guys were just fine without me, given a perfect 2-0 sweep on the Friday show.
Yeah, we're fine without you, but we're better with you. So, and Sean, good day on Friday with our free picks as we both cashed in. And on the same day, I did a video with Doug on the Friday baseball picks. So, folks, if you followed us last Friday, you went 4-0 with our free picks on the Winner's Circle Sports Betting Podcast in baseball. So let's continue that today. We're going to be talking baseball once again. We have three games we're going to be discussing. Jesse's going to look at the Cubs and the Pirates. Sean is going to look at the Blue Jays and the all of a sudden red hot Miami Marlins. And I'm going to take the hit for the club and talk about Detroit and Kansas City. Anyway. All right. So
why is that game on the phone?
Let's get her. Hey, somebody's got to win the game, and just because they're two lousy teams, you have to have an angle.
We got to
somebody's got to win. I mean,
someone's going to come on YouTube and look for Tiger free picks today or Sean, Kansas City Royal picks. There'll be one video. It'll be us.
Detroit Lenny's in the chat. He's saying the Tigers have won 4 of their last 5 or something.
Well, look, in my defense, I do the scheduling, and I don't want to give games. I don't want to assign games that are like minus 170, minus 180, put somebody in a precarious position. And also, we did a video with Doug yesterday. They had 2 games that go today. As a matter of fact, if you want to check those out at our YouTube channel page, that's the Winner's Circle Sports Betting channel. Me and Doug have free picks in the Philadelphia-Atlanta game and the Dodgers and the Angels. So I was getting sort of running out of things to do in terms of assignments. And I said the next logical one, which is not asking somebody to lay a big number or take the run line, was Detroit and Kansas City. So who takes the fall? None other than your fearless leader,
That's
Mr.
Ross. Fall on that royal sword for us.
Yeah, there we go. All right. Now that I gave myself all kinds of accolades and I'm a martyr, let's get to the picks. By the way, Sean,
yes,
the Cincinnati Reds, a legitimate shot to win the NL Central or no?
I think so. Only because the Cardinals are done. I don't care. They got a nice 3-game win streak going. I think they're trading. I think they'll get rid of guys because there's way too much they have to do. They got some pitching staff woes there. You have the Brewers, I think, are going to trade Corbin Burns with no matter where they are in the playoff hunt. The whole thing with his arbitration, I think they'll deal him. Cubbies have underachieved, and I got a Cubby future. But the Reds and the Pirates, right? Why I went to the Cubbies, because Reds and Pirates I thought would be bad. I thought the Cardinals would be bad with their pitching, and I thought the Brewers were We see the Pirates. I mean, we're going to talk about them in a second, I guess, right? Somebody have this game or no? No, nobody's on the Pirates, right? The Pirate.
Yeah, Jesse is.
All right, I'll save myself.
I assigned him another.
All right, I don't want to. Well, anyway, I think the Reds. Why not worth a shot? You got an exciting player there. The offense is hitting. You got some young pitchers, and I think the division's wide open. Why not take it was like an 8-1. 9-1 before. I don't know what it is now, but
Joey Votto came back yesterday, Sean, and hit a home run. So I know the last I looked, he was 2 for 3 with a home run. So that's going to be an extra boost in the lineup as long as it appears he's healthy after what we saw yesterday. Jesse, I got a question for you. I asked the same thing to Doug yesterday, and I'm curious to hear your response. The New York Yankees right now are minus 200 just to make the playoffs. Good bet or bad bet?
Terrible bet.
Yeah, I agree.
Terrible bet. To be honest with you, Ross, last year at the beginning of the year, I bet a steak dinner with our man Joey D. I took the Blue Jays and he took the Yanks, and I looked at that Yankee lineup and I thought injury prone. feast or famine. A lot of guys that hit for power don't hit for average. Things are going to go wrong. And then they had like a record-breaking first half. And, I still owe Joey D a steak dinner. But it seems like everything I was expecting from that team last year is happening to them this year. And I'm not really surprised. I don't really. I think they've got too many guys that are a little over the hill in that lineup.
I agree. It's not only over the hill, but too many holes in the lineup. And when you got a guy like Stanton hitting in the middle of the lineup, and he's been terrible, and Rizzo has struggled over the last. I don't want to say anything bad about Anthony Rizzo because I love him as a player. But by the same token, he struggled, and you got guys like what'd you say yesterday? Or last Friday, Sean, like Kiner Falefa, who was hitting.
Yeah, IKF, like Willie Calhoun, Brian McKinney, Jake. I mean, this team.
Yeah.
How about this? You talk about the hot start last year, Jesse. Since the All-Star break, they are 77-74.
Yeah.
Almost a full season. That's 500 baseball in 150 games.
Well, I would say this: their pitching, they can get by with the starting rotation they have right now. If they were in contention, I'm assuming they would make a move or two to bolster the starting.
They're good. They're going to make a move because they're the Yankees anyway.
Yeah, and the relief corps has been. I mean, they've struggled a bit in the last couple games, but overall they've been very good. But
you have to think Boone has actually done a good job this year. Like as
probably
much as
the best job he's ever done, Sean.
His rotation: no Rodon, no Montes.
Yeah.
Sevy was out. Cortez has been bad when he was there, and now he's out. Herman has been whatever. Clark Schmidt. I mean, this isn't a great rotation. It's Cole and then, I don't know. Let's see what happens here. And the lineup is Judge and nobody. Like they have 5 guys hitting over 250. I mean, it's not like and those 5 guys are hitting like 333 or something like that. They're not doing that.
No. There's a lot of concern there. I think minus 200 is
no way.
Ridiculous.
No, that's
price.
a waste. What are you talking about?
And they'll still get bet on because they're the Yankees and there's a loyal. I mean, I'm a big Yankee fan, but I keep my
take a flyer. Take that $100, put it on the Marlins to win a division. Put it on the Marlins
or just to make the playoffs.
In the least,
right? Make the playoffs. The Marlins. I mean, we're going to talk about Miami and Pittsburgh and the Cubs. So, Jesse, I'll let you take it away, my friend. Tell us who you like in your game and introduce the game, and also tell us the line you have and where you're going.
All right. Well, I think I saw this on the overnight line at minus 130 for the Cubbies, and that's the way I'm going to go. You really have to reinvent the wheel to want to go against the Cubs in this spot. Chicago comes in winning 6 of their last 7. Pittsburgh's lost 7 straight. 4 of those games for each team. 8 straight. Okay. 4 of those games came head to head, right? So the Cubs have won 4 straight against Pittsburgh. Recently, you got Marcus Stroman 5-0 with a 1.51 ERA in his last 5 starts. I said about Stroman on this show like a month ago that I thought he sort of gets it done with smoke and mirrors. He's a guy that sort of keeps you in games, has a low ERA, but still doesn't get a ton of strikeouts, and he gives up a few hits. But he's you can't argue with the numbers in his last 5 starts. He looks very sharp right now. Cubs are 6-0 in his last 6 starts. And you got Oviedo, 3-6, 4.40 ERA, just got rocked by the Cubs in his last start. 4 runs, 8 hits, 4 1/3 innings. Like I said, low price. Cubs are hot. Pittsburgh's not. Pittsburgh really looks like the party's over in Pittsburgh is what it really looks like to me. Cubs have won 9 of the last 10 head-to-head, 4 of the last 5 in Steeltown. 130 it is for me. I'll take the Cubs.
Can't blame you, my friend. The Chicago Cubs, by the way, not only playing good baseball, but they're putting up plenty of offense, and they did so yesterday again. They scored 8 runs and left 10 men on base. So this is a team, again, they're playing Pittsburgh. I get that. But on the other hand, Pittsburgh, I watched the game yesterday because I needed the over 9, and it finished 8-0. Unfortunately, it broke my 4-game win streak. And the Pittsburgh Pirates get shut out, and they left 10 guys on base. And I'm sitting there going, you know what? This team right now, they need 4 singles to score a run because they got no power. And anyway, I love that play. The Cubs minus 130 over Pittsburgh for all the reasons that you just alluded to, Jesse. Sean, your take on that game?
Yeah, I bet the Cubs last time 125. And why? I mean, 6-7. They're playing good baseball. Who is running the bet the Pirates? Somebody said this last time to look at lines like, oh, what about the Pirates today? No, they've lost 8 in a row and 12 of 14. I'm not betting. You don't make money betting on losing teams, especially at a plus 115 or whatever they're going to be getting. How do you know?
No,
They had a nice start to the year. It was like, oh, that's April baseball. Every year you get somebody comes out of the gate kind of hot, right? Some of the veteran teams are slow and we'll get going. We saw a bad May. We're seeing a bad June. This is what Pittsburgh is going to be. They're young. You're relying on Vince Velasquez before he got hurt and Rich Hill, who's 45 years old. No, let's take the Cubs. Don't overthink things sometimes with baseball. Teams lose games a lot in a row. They win a few in a row as well, right? Look at the streaks. Don't run to take the Pirates. I don't get it.
Yeah, I mean the streaks, and then you look at their bullpen. Their ERA as a staff is over 10 over their last 8 games.
Yeah,
I mean, so even if you do get
that's why they're picked to have like 65 wins on the year because they're a bad team.
Yeah. So anyway, Sean, let's get to your game, and I'm interested to hear your take on this one. It'll be Toronto and the Marlins. Right now, the Marlins, I got minus 115. The total is 8. It'll be Kikuchi going for the Toronto Blue Jays and Euro Perez. Nice young pitcher for the Marlins. Yeah. Break up the Marlins, Sean.
Yeah, I had the Marlins yesterday, and people were like, how do you take the Marlins? Barrios has been really good. He has been good. He's pitched well of late. But Toronto as a team they're not playing good. You blow 6-0 leads. I told the guy, I'm like, you blow 6-0 leads, you're not playing good. I'm not looking to have you bounce back. Oh, Miami. First of all, we got Kikuchi on the hill, who's been bad on the road, basically all season. Not Barrios bad, although he's improved. Kikuchi's had 2 nice starts. Before that, he's allowed 5 runs in 2 of his last 3 road starts. Now he's finally got his ERA under 5. How about the Marlins? Who had this come into the season? The Marlins are tied with the Braves, the #1 hitting team versus lefties, 301. And we talk about the Yankee bad bats, and we could go through a lot of teams with poor batting average, right? A lot of guys, nobody hits for average on that. Who has the Marlins hitting 300? And maybe it's just the guy Araz who's hitting 400 a year. Maybe he's hitting 900 versus versus lefties and raises the whole team average. I don't think so. Marlins could hit, and they're dangerous. We talked about taking a future spot. The pitching has always been their last couple of years, right? They just couldn't hit.
Yeah.
And I got Yuri Perez on the hill, a 6'8" string bean. The kid's 20 years old, and he's still learning, and he's still getting a strikeout an inning. Well, I mean, I'm not going to – again, Jesse said don't reinvent the wheel. I got a team that's won 5 in a row, clicking on all cylinders, edge in pitching, edge in hitting versus the pitcher. I got my pitchers with, a sub-2 batting average against and a low whip, and Kikuchi's bad on the road. Forget about it. I mean, Toronto, 3 straight losses. They're going to win today against this guy? No. Bad teams, you go in slumps. It happens. It happens, folks. Take Miami. Again, short number. I'm not overthinking things here. 5-game win streak. Better pitcher. Hitting the ball great right now. Dangerous team.
Yep, there you go. Miami minus 115 over Toronto. And Sean brought up Luis Arias, 5 for 5 yesterday. That's his second 5-hit game in the last 3 games. He's had 3 this year. And there's only 4 players in Major League Baseball history who have had 5-hit or more games, 5 hits or more in a game 4 times in a season. And I know Ty Cobb was one of them, all Hall of Famers ahead of him. If you haven't seen this kid hit, it's the second coming of Tony Gwynn, is like the Marlins broadcasters like to say.
Or maybe Yasiel Puig.
Yeah.
Or Trevor Story. Or Trevor Story.
Yasiel Puig. Wow.
You think he's Yasiel Puig?
No, it's not.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that you can't judge a guy based on half of a season.
No, but he hit in Minnesota though. He was like a 340 hitter in Minnesota as well. I mean, he can hit a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah. They traded Pablo Lopez for him. I was like, I thought it was a good trade for both teams because Marlins need hitters and you're getting a decent pitcher. But in today's baseball, if a guy's hitting 330, I'm holding on to that guy. I'm bringing him the Yanks again because as a Yankee guy, they have nobody who's hitting 300. Like, I mean, you need a guy who gets on base. Why wouldn't you want a guy who hits 330?
Yeah, and he probably was pretty affordable, Sean, based on the fact that the Marlins picked him up because they're not exactly big spenders, and Jesse, yeah, I get your correlation now, and you're correct in that correlation. But at the end of the day, you got a guy with 3 5-hit games. Only 8 players in the Major League Baseball history has accomplished that. And a guy that's hitting 400 right now, exactly 400 on June the 20th. And he's an everyday player. You're not talking about a guy who's a platoon player. He's an everyday player. So if you haven't checked this guy out, tremendous player, tremendous hitter more than anything else. But
318, 294, 321, 334 his last 4 years.
Jesse, any take on the game itself?
I kind of smiled when I heard him mention Berrios yesterday because I came on this show a couple weeks ago when Berrios was getting a start in Baltimore, and I said, I don't care how good his numbers are.
He's going to get hit.
Berrios home away splits has been something that's been going on for years. And, this last 4 games isn't going to influence me compared to his overall body of work. And what did Berrios do? He spun a gem against the Orioles. I was late to the party, and it all came to fruition yesterday in Miami. But yeah, Marlins 10-1 in their last 11 at home versus American League teams. And the starter, Perez, the 20-year-old phenom, 3-1 with a 1.42 ERA in his last 5 starts. The price, it's only one way you can go in this game, and it's Miami.
Yeah, I mean, a couple notes I have written down here. Miami's now won 5 in a row. They're 17-5 in their last 22 games. They're 12-2 in their last 14 at home. 17-5 this year against AL teams. So their interleague matchups, they dominated. So yeah, how could you not like the Marlins and agree with Sean Higgs on that one? All right, I'm going to look at that again, folks. Hold your nose. This game stinks. I get it. I already got my colleagues already let me know and gave me a hard time already. So, but we're going to go forward with it anyway. The Kansas City Royals at the Detroit Tigers, 6:40 p.m. Eastern time. Right now, Detroit is a -145 favorite, and the total in this game is either 8.5 or 9, depending where you're looking. Daniel Lynch gets the start for the Kansas City Royals, 0-3 in his last 3 team starts with a 6.50 ERA and an alarming 5 home runs allowed in 18 innings pitched. It'll be Michael Lorenzen for the Detroit Tigers, and his last 2 have just been brutal, and both of the last 2 have been at home, where he'll be pitching tonight. And in those last 2 outings, 12 earned runs allowed in 12 2/3 innings pitched. That's not good. 16 hits, 3 walks, and he allowed 4 home runs. So we got 2 pitchers that are prone to giving up the long ball of late. And he's made 1 start against Kansas City this year. And if you followed if you have followed Kansas City, and I don't know outside of the state of Missouri why you would, but in any event, in the 1 start against Kansas City, Lorenzen gave up 5 earned runs in 5 2/3 innings pitched. And the Royals hit 3 home runs in that game. Very concerning. Detroit 7-1 to the over in their last 8, and they've hit 13 home runs during that time. They're 7-0 over at home versus left-handed starters, which they'll be facing tonight. And Daniel Lynch, 8-0 over at home this year versus starting pitcher who allows 1 or more home runs per start on average. And that certainly is Daniel Lynch. And Kansas City, 19-8 to the over against a bullpen with a whip of 125 or less, which Detroit barely qualifies in that regard. And, Kansas City has played Detroit 4 times this year. They scored 4 runs or more in each of those matchups. So I like the over, guys. Kansas City and Detroit over the total. So there, screw you both. I didn't take either team. I took the total over 8, Jesse.
I like this game, Ross, and I like Detroit. I mean, anytime you're going to give me a chance to bet against the Royals at this price, what have the Royals lost 12 of their last 13 overall? Lynch and Lorenzen both look bad. Lorenzen to me looks hot and cold though, like inconsistent. Like he's shown me that he's capable of having a good start against an inferior opponent, maybe at home against Kansas. I know he got rocked at Kansas City. Maybe he can do better at home against Kansas City, and maybe he doesn't even have to. The way both these teams play. But Detroit's been playing a little better. I'm with the Detroit Lenny bandwagon here. I'll take Detroit at this price.
Yeah. Detroit Lenny. If for those of you who don't know Detroit Lenny, he's the host over at picksandparleys.net. Does a great job on a daily basis over there. So check him out. And another guy at picksandparleys.net is Sean Higgs, and he wants to know. I want to know, I should say. Jesse wants to know: do you agree or disagree with my pick?
I had the Tigers yesterday as my play today, whatever, as a package on the sites. Run line, never in doubt, baby. Run line winner in that game. That was easy. You sit back and just cash that ticket. And I like the Tigers today too on the run line. I can't lay a 140, but I could do a run line. And Jesse had said what they lost 12 or 13. How about they've lost 16 of 18 to Royals? Yeah. Again, how are you running that bad teams? Maybe we look at the Rockies maybe tomorrow if the Reds pull out another win and again maybe a 180. That'd be something. We're getting 180s. Not like Pirates at a 115 or a 125, 130 here. I'm with you on the Tigers. And Lorenzen, I kind of like when a guy gets shelled in an outing. And I wish it was kind of more of a back-to-back kind of thing, when they play each other on next weekends or the next week. Usually a guy come back has a better outing, But I'm not concerned. You give up 6 runs to the Braves, who are a scoring machine right now, right? They're putting up 8, 10 runs every game. The Diamondbacks we see, they took care of Burns here. They put a 6 spot up on Corbin Burns on the road. So you give up 6 to a team in first place like Arizona, 6 to a team or 5 to the team like the Braves. I can live with that. Kansas City's not either of them. You know why? Because Bo Jackson will not be joining the Kansas City squad and helping this offense out at all.
Hey, and I didn't even let him know, and he's got that prop for us. So.
It was right here.
Who pitched for Kansas City yesterday?
Mark Gubiza. No, it was Jordan Lyles.
Jordan Lyles is now
12 Jordan Lyons. Well,
actually, the Royals are 0-15 this year with him as their starting pitcher, and yet he's been a favorite in two of his last 3 starts, and also was a short dog, a considerably short dog when you consider what his record was yesterday. So I don't get that one. It's almost like I shy away because maybe somebody knows something I don't.
Yeah.
And my paranoia probably cost me a couple winners right there, Jesse.
I think so, Ross. I think anytime I get a chance to bet against a team like the Royals at a reasonable price, I'll be all over it.
All right. So, Jesse, tell the folks again about your what you do on video every day, where they could find that, and also any current streaks you'd like to share with the audience, and tell them where you prefer they find you.
Well, I'm coming off of a solid weekend, Ross. It was, better than 500, and I'm being really careful with my adjectives because last week I came on this show and I was a little bit too liberal with my superlatives, and the gambling gods punished me for it. So I will say I do have some pretty nice long-term records with the sports of soccer and CFL. Baseball's pretty good to me in the summer as well. I put out a daily video on YouTube. You can follow me at Jesse Shule Picks. You can follow me on Twitter at Jesse Shule. And please come and see me at jesseshule.com.
Based on the leaderboards over at Sports Memo in recent days, you've bounced back pretty well, my friend. And I did say that, it's a matter of time. And Jesse just bounced back just like I thought he would. Talking about guys who bounce back, bounce up, bounce all over the place. And very outspoken. It's my buddy, Mr. Sean Higgs. Higgsy, tell the folks anything you want them to know about yourself and your accomplishments and where you want them to find you and the whole 9 yards.
4-2 yesterday, day in baseball, and unlike Jesse, I'm straight baseball in the summertime until August runs around and we'll get into preseason football. Twitter, Mr. Sean Higgs. You come give me a follow there. I got the Midday Money Show, 12 noon Eastern, 7 days a week. You can find it on the Picks Probably's YouTube channel. A lot, just type in Midday Money. It'll pop up. It's on podcast. I do the look at a line show at night. And that used to be like a little 15-minute show. It's turned into like an hour and a half the last few days. Like there's a lot, and I don't know if people are watching from here, a lot of new people, and you know me, if people want to chat and ask questions, I'm going to answer. So that's, although it's really killing my sleep habits doing like 2 hours at, late at night. I'm going to try to get up in the morning and, do a little exercise and try to get the blood flowing for the day. But listen, I enjoy it. And it's whatever. Come check it out. A lot of free
Yeah.
picks. Everybody loves the free pick shows, and I'll be getting into football another 2 weeks. I'll start getting into college futures and NFL talk like that. So
There you go, Mr. Sean Higgs over at picksandparleys.net. Don't forget to check out his podcast on the picksandparleys.net homepage. You could also find him at the Picks and Parleys YouTube channel and various streaming platforms throughout the internet. So again, Jesse Shule, jesseshule.com. Check out his daily videos he does on his own. Does a really nice job, short and to the point. And you could find him at his YouTube channel, which is Jesse Shule. Just look up Jesse Shule and you'll find him there. And don't forget, folks, if you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel, which is the Winner's Circle Sports Betting channel, which you're watching right now, sponsored by a great sponsor at gamblersworld.com. Take a second to do so. It's absolutely free. There's no strings attached. You'll be privy to some of the best sports betting information daily you'll find anywhere on the internet today. Some great handicappers here, us three, and also Doug Upstone of DocSports.com will be adding to our roster pretty soon. And also we'll be starting a new website, which will be surround the guys who are on this channel at gamblersworld.net will be the new website where we'll be selling our premium paid selections as well. Nobody's putting a gun to your head to buy stuff, but you know what? If you want our best plays, that's where you'll find them going forward as well. And don't forget, give us a like, folks. Just a small token of your appreciation for the hard work that we do. And we want you to be a smarter sports bettor today than yesterday, above and beyond putting out these free pick winners. You could find me at rbwins.com. That's rbwins.com. 4-1 the last 3 days in Major League Baseball, and all sports on a 43-32 run, which is around 57%. And over that course of time, my dime bettors have made $8,160. So that's rbwins.com. Until the next time, which will be tomorrow morning with all three of us, it'll for Jesse Shule, Sean Higgs, and Ross Benjamin. I'd like to wish each and every one of you folks a very happy day. Good luck.
No, Jesse, what do you got to do?
Well, you got to smash that like button.
Yeah, again, I don't know why when he yells, smash that like button, it cuts out a little bit audio wise. So
that makes it worth. That makes it great, though.
Yeah, I think what we have to do is record him yelling down into a canyon and say, smash that like button. Anyway,
that's he's got a high-end microphone. I think something's gonna spaz out, so it tunes down the noise, the background noise. It's excellent.
Yeah, there you go. We'll see you tomorrow, folks. Take care and God bless.